Hey, what's up guys? As some of you may know, I recently suffered an acute injury to my ring finger on my left hand. So I'm pretty sure the injury that I sustained was to either my A4 pulley or my C2, just based on the location. I considered going to a doctor and having an MRI done to find out exactly what it was that happened to my finger, but after doing some research, I learned that there's not really much that they can do other than tell you to rest it. And if it's bad enough that it needs surgery, first of all, I don't think it's bad enough that it needs surgery because I can move it. There's no real swelling, no severe pain. And the pop that I heard when I injured it wasn't that loud. If it is bad enough to need surgery, I read that sometimes the surgical procedure itself can end up causing more problems than just letting it heal on its own. Now, if you have a full tear of one of the pulleys, that will not heal the pulley back together, but your finger will heal and you will regain function. If you were to have surgery, they could reattach the pulley, but the scar tissue that could develop might inhibit motion and end up making the problem worse than it would have been had you not gotten surgery. That being said, I'm not a doctor. This is my own personal choice to try to do this myself. And if you think that you have an injury, you should definitely go see a doctor and get a professional opinion. I'm choosing to ignore my own advice and go about treating it in a way that I see fit. I did some research on rehabilitation for this kind of injury. And one of the first things that I read was to immobilize the finger for the first week, maybe even 2 weeks. Now, luckily, I continued to do research and I found out that that is good advice for somebody who isn't a climber, because immobilizing the finger can build a lot of scar tissue and reduce your range of motion and flexibility in the finger. So, since I'm not going to be climbing, I decided I would do these little videos kind of tracking my progress through the recovery process. So I just watched a video with some kinesiologists, people who are also climbers, and some of the exercises that they showed to kind of assess your injury and also help the rehabilitation process were these little finger curls where you're gliding the tendon. So the first exercise that they showed was to half glide the tendon here, then return to the open hand, then fully closed, and then a full glide. Now, just being able to do this alone without any pain, just a little tightness, I'd say, to me says that this isn't a complete tear, which is lucky for me, hopefully faster recovery. The other thing that they recommended that I just so happen to have, which I don't know where it is now. Did I put it in my pocket? Okay, I couldn't find it. It's one of those little finger rolly things. You may have seen it in your climbing gym or seen people using it. It's called an acupressure ring, I believe. And that's just for breaking up the scar tissue and massaging the tendon. One of the other things that I was reading that is helpful is to take a pen, a pencil, or a marker and hold with your fingers like this, and then using all your fingers, roll the marker, pen, or whatever it is backwards in your hand and try to get all of your fingers involved. I tried to do it with just a normal pen, and the flexibility in that injured finger for me is low right now, so I wasn't able to hold onto a pen like this without dropping it. So I'm using a little bit of a fatter marker, and then eventually, as it starts to heal and I regain mobility, I will move to a smaller size. So once again, I would just like to say that this is my own way of going about rehabbing my finger. I'm not a professional by any means. I have very little knowledge other than what I've researched myself, but I will say this, it is my goal to get back to climbing as fast as possible, but I am very serious about taking the time that is needed for my finger to heal so that this doesn't become a chronic issue for me. So this is the first of many videos to come over the next weeks, months, however long it may be before I regain full finger strength. So if you're interested, go ahead and subscribe, and I will be talking more about this later. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, comments, or helpful suggestions about the rehabilitation process or anything that I said in the video, go ahead and leave it down in the comment section. I welcome it, and it's much appreciated. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.